Hello, my name is Dieter and welcome to the making of video for the Site Manager tutorial website. So Site Manager is an all-in-one platform for fast web development and lean collaboration between professionals in the cloud. We have 4 connected applications that seamlessly work together. We have the dashboard for project management, the design application, a developer application, and an easy-to-use visual content management system. First, we're going to log in to the dashboard to create our first project together. So if you want, you can follow along. I will make sure that the files are available in the description below the video. All right, so we logged into the dashboard, and as you can see, we have no projects created. So let's change that and click the new project button. The account that we're going to make, so we are going to, you can start from project, meaning that we have full-fledged websites that you can pick from and start from those. That means you can tweak them any way you want. But in this example, we're going to create the website from scratch. So we're going to make a tutorial account. The website will be in English. We do support multiple languages, so you can install the language manager and add as much languages to your project as you like. But for this example, we're going to start with English and click the create button. So in a couple of seconds, the website has been created into cloud. So everything, all files have been copied and we can start creating. So we come into the settings page of the tutorial in the dashboard. We have an activity stream where you can follow everything that's going on inside the project. This is where we'll log in and start creating the website itself. Here we can add extra paid modules to the project that are paid for, like language management, etc. If you're done with your project, you click this button to put it online. You can add users to your project, so you can add your client and give them access only to the CMS application. So the design, developer, and dashboard are locked from your user, or if you want to work with other designers or developers, you can give them access to the project as well. Here you can change the credits to your own credits and other things that you can do. So let's get started and log in to our website. The first thing we're gonna do in the setup wizard is choose if we're gonna build our layout from scratch or that we start with some predefined layouts that we use, that we call themes. So for example, if here you see a couple of themes that you might like, and you can install them, and then these layouts will be available. Be aware that there's no content when you do this. So if you want a website with content, you will need to use the start from project option that was available in the dashboard that you've seen earlier. But in this example, like I said, we're going to build everything from scratch. So we're going to start building our own design. So in the setup phase, we need to pick a color scheme and a style. Don't be alarmed. These colors can be changed obviously afterwards, and so that's what we're going to do. So we're going to pick this color scheme. All right. And now we can pick a style. So there are many styles to pick from. And just as with the color screen, you can change them. So we're going to use a clean style. So this is a style that we like. You see already how a button will be styled and what fonts they are used. So this is nice. So we're going to install the clean style. So when this is done, our setup wizard is complete and we will enter the design application. So as you can see, now we're in the design homepage. We can change our color palettes, our styles, and add fonts and files and create layouts. So starting from the top, we're gonna change our color palette that we picked during setup. So we click edit palette and we want to change our purple color to a blue color, and also change this color to a darker color. So we can change any color that we want. So this is what we're going to do. This is also very handy. So for example, when a client or a project needs to change colors, you only have to change the palette and republish the layouts, and everything will be changed to the new colors. So that's really cool. Our style, if we were not happy with our style, we could change it, but we are not going to do that. So we're going to add, we're not going to use custom fonts in this example, but you could add Adobe Typekit or Google Web Fonts using this button. But we're going to add some picture files that we are going to use in our layout design. So I click Add File. And we are going to pick this banner here and upload it to our files that will be available when creating layouts. So now at the moment we have an empty website with no layouts. So if we would go to the CMS application here, you would see a blank page with no design whatsoever. So our website needs layouts to show our design. So we're going to create a layout, and the first layout that we're going to create is a content layout. So you can create multiple layouts, which we're going to touch later in the video. So when you're creating a new layout, you're jumped right into the design editor. As you can see, we have no design whatsoever at this moment. We have no header, content, or footer elements installed. So this is the first thing that we're going to do, is create a structure for our layout. So we're going to start by adding a header to our layout. When we click this button, we can add elements to this header. So we have a lot of options that we can pick from. There's a library full of elements that we can style and tweak in any way we like. Just know that all these elements are built with our developer application that we haven't touched yet, but all these things that you see are created with the developer application. So developers have access to the code and can create their own elements for the design application, which is really cool. So there's no limit to what you can do here, although you think that it's not limited to these library elements. So a developer can create anything that he can code or imagine. So we're going to use a background banner. So we're going to add it to our layout. All right. So now you can see there's a delete button, but also a style button. This means that we can change all the CSS properties of this element. But we're not going to code CSS. We are going to use these design panels, because we are designers, we're not coders, to change anything we like. So when we go to the banner, for example, and we want to change the background to an image, we can select the file that we uploaded before and add it to cover center. Yes, so this is what we like. And if we're ready with changing properties, we just click the green save button, and now the CSS will be updated with what we did here. So as you can see, we have all these properties that we can change. So also these things are also editable by the developer. So we have an overlay background here, as you can see, and we are gonna pick the black color, but we're gonna only do 40% transparency. It's better. So we click save, and now we have added our first elements to our layout, and in the preview window you can see how it looks. So when we click the home button, we can add another element. So now we're going to add navigation, full width navigation, and we are going to use a floating menu. So you can always click the preview button here. So we're going to add the floating menu to our website. So now it's adding all the data and all the elements. All right. As you can see, we want to change the position. Yes, so the floating menu comes on top of our background banner, and this is what we want. So now we're also gonna check our menu in mobile view. And as you can see, this element should be positioned a little bit better. And when we open it, you also see that dimensions of this menu are not really okay. So we are going to click the style button and go to the floating menu option, where we have a dimensions button. And this is the cool part, is when you see these are the dimensions for the standard views, tablet views, large desktop views, and we're going to click here to go into the mobile view. And as you can see, this left is really not okay, so we're going to change it to 15, and add some padding, 15 padding to the right as well. And as you can see now, this is much better. So we're going to click the save button and return back to this screen. And now we're going to tweak the position of our mobile menu button as well. So we go to dimensions. Since the mobile menu button is only shown in mobile view, you don't necessarily have to do it here. So if we change it here, it will be the same. So we're gonna put our right to 0 and put 15 to top and click save. So now we are satisfied with how it looks on mobile as well. So we return to our desktop view, click the home button, and now we're gonna add content to our website. So we're gonna add full width content. So you have full width or boxed, you have sidebars, you have different types of content. Content is very important because all the content that will be shown here will be powered by the CMS application. Now, since we are building our layout without content available to us, this is all placeholder content. So to give us a view of how the website might look. Here is the entire styling that we install in the beginning of our setup phase, and now we can change anything for the general styling of our website as well. So the first thing we're going to do is add a little bit of top margin to our content. So we're going to add 40 pixels to the top so that this does not so there's a little bit more white space here. So we click save, return to the home, and now we still have our footer where we can add for instance footer with 3 columns. Yeah, all right. And let's add a credits credit bar like this. This is where you can add your credentials, for instance, or the year, the copyright, that kind of stuff. So when we scroll down, let's change the background color to black. Okay, click save. And as you can see, there are many things you can add and build your layout, and it goes extremely fast. So we're only a couple minutes in and we have a complete structured layout that we created. Of course, we haven't changed much at the styling. Just remember that in the tutorial website that is being created, there will be a complete learning step-by-step of all the things that I'm showing right here. So there's also special elements that you can add to your website. For example, we want to have, instead of this generic scroll bar of the browser, we can add our own scroll bar. All right. So let's put them on top. As you can see, this is really nice, but we're going to change the color to black. Yeah, that's much better. So click save. So now we have created a simple layout just with a header, content, and a footer. And when we're done, we just click publish layout. And now our layout is published and is ready to be used in the system, in the content management system. So when we are here, you can see that this layout is now available. We can click here to edit, delete it on its our default layout. Since we only have one layout, it will be our default layout. All right, now let's go to the CMS application and add some content to our website. So we click the content editor button. And this is the CMS application for our project, where we can go to the design and developer application and add content to our website. So the first thing we're going to do is add some more pages to our website. So we can click the edit menu button here, or go to page management. It's the same action. So here we can add pages, and we're going to add 3 more pages. Missions, behind the scenes, and training. Okay, so we click the home page to return to the home page. And now the first thing we're going to do is add content to our homepage. And there are 2 types of content. You have content that we add to the page by dragging elements inside the page, and there's content that is linked to the layout that we call widgets. For example, for the footer, so once you add content to a page, it's only shown on that page, but when you add content to a widget, it's shown in all pages that use that layout. So as you can see, we only have 1 element here that we can drag and drop on the page, so it's text. So we want to install some more elements, so we can go to the upgrade store or click more elements here. So when we click it, we enter the upgrade store, and there's a section here, page components, where we can add a lot of components to our website. These components are built with the developer, and so a developer can create his own content elements, or can edit the elements that we have made. So in this example video, we're just going to use some of the libraries available. So we are going to install a title, the YouTube pop-up video. Yep. So we're going to install these. So there are many things that we're going to use. So we're going to use this. So you can see a preview of what we're going to add to our website. We're going to use to add a parallax banner. This one. We're gonna also add a tile. We're gonna pick this one. And we're going to install a form, a contact form, yeah. So this upgrade store, you can restrict access to it for CMS users. So if you want your clients to not be able to add elements, content elements to the website, you can actually lock the upgrade store for them. So you have more control of what's being added to the pages, etc. So now we still need one more. It's a YouTube video. Okay. So now we have added some elements. You can create and test out the components for yourself. So we're going to close it. And now the homepage is being reloaded. And as you can see, a lot more elements have been added that we can pick from. We're gonna start by adding a title to our page. So we drag and drop the title, and a form pops up where we can edit the information that we want to show here. So we have 6 header types. So we're gonna choose the main header 1 and add in content that we have prepared already. So I'm gonna copy paste it from my sheet here. So we save it. And when we return, you'll see that the content is shown on the website. We want to add a subtitle. So we're gonna drag and drop another title here. This time we're gonna pick header 3. And I'm gonna paste in some copy here and return. Now we can use this element here to add a little bit more of space between the elements, so we can drag and drop it. So we're gonna give it 20 pixels at the bottom, and now we're gonna add some text right here. I've already prepared some text as well, so I'm just gonna copy paste it. This here is how much of the column width that we want to use to show this text. This is offset and the visibility for each device. And this is a standard text editor that you would expect to see in all CMS applications where you can format your text. So I'm going to return, and as you can see, it's been added. So we're going to add a little bit more spacing here, some white space, and now we're gonna add some tiles. So we have installed this tile from the upgrade store, and we're gonna drag and drop it, and we're gonna add 3 tiles. So we installed 3 tiles to our form. It's already on 4 for the width of the grid, so that's okay. So we're gonna start uploading and adding, filling in this form. So I'm gonna click upload file, and I select home tile 1. So this is our Adobe editor where we can crop the image. So it was already prepared to be in the correct size, but here you could crop your image to fit the dimensions set by the developer for this component. So we just save it. You can also click edit pic and start enhancing it using, for example, some filters or whatever you like. So it's really cool what you can do here. So the title is tutorial. Learn Site Manager by completing 9 missions. Set the pace to missions. The button, we can choose between the default and alternate button that we have styled in the design application. We're gonna leave it to default. So we click save, and now we're gonna upload next home tile. All right. We save it, and let's say here's online demo. As you can see, we are using forms, so you can add SEO title tags and other elements to the form instead of inline editing, where you're more limited to what you can ask for input. So reserve, I'm gonna copy this text from my sheet here, and yeah, quest demo, upload the next file like so, apply the crop. Okay, and here we go into the top center. And this time, instead of setting an internal link, we're gonna set an external link, and we're gonna make it pop up in a new window and call our button documentation. Click save and return to our page, and as you can see, it's really nice. You can see these 3 tiles that we have created, and here you can change the offset and the column width that it uses, but it's okay right now. So finally, we're going to add a call to action parallax banner to the bottom. So there's two ways that you can add elements. You can drag and drop them, or you can simply click on them and add them at the bottom of your page or the top of your page. So we're gonna upload our parallax picture, and then we're gonna add 2 pieces of content, and we're gonna set the dimensions to 8 for our default screen and 10 for large screens. So, and then here we're gonna do the exact opposite, like go 4 to 4. Okay, and we're gonna add a title tag here, and we are gonna use a header 1 and add the text more information visits sitemanager.io. And here we're gonna add a button. We're gonna use a default button and click visit and add a link to our website in a new window. So, all right, so when we click save and return, now you'll see that the page is being reloaded because it's using some JavaScript, this parallax effect. So yeah, as you can see, this is not looking good right now. So the next thing we're going to do is go to our design application and start updating and styling the components that we have installed for our CMS and make it look better. To do that, we click the design button right here. So we return to our design editor for the layout that we created, and the first thing we're going to do is when we enter this placeholder view is we're gonna add some margin, some button margin to our tile. So our tile is one of the elements that is generally in the style, so we can go on a high level and go to the tile dimensions, open margin, and add 40 pixels to the bottom. And now every tile element that uses this class in the system will have a margin, a bottom margin of 40. So that's really cool. So we click save and update layouts. So this is one way to style elements on a high level. As you can see, the headers are here, the buttons are here. So when you style them here, this will be enforced every time someone uses this element. But it goes a lot deeper than that. So when we select on the top, we can select our page that we created. So we go to the home page, and now you can see all the content that we created is available for styling as well. When we scroll down and we select our parallax banner that we have installed, we have two options. We can style the component, and every time that this component will be used in the platform, this styling change that we did will be applied. Or we can create an instance, and that time only this instance of the component will be styled, and we do not touch the general styling of the component. Just for this example, we're gonna create an instance, but both options are fine. So here we come into the design panel for the parallax banner, and as you can see, there are many options, but we're going to change the text color and our button color. So the first thing we're going to go is to our title component, header 1, go to text properties, and we're gonna change our font color to white. Yeah, and we're also going to change our font size, something like this, and we click save because we're happy with how this looks. And we can also check out our mobile view. This is really cool. Now when we scroll down, you'll see that our text is a little bit too big maybe, so we're gonna add in 24, no, 28. Yeah, let's pick 28 and return to our desktop view. And now we're still gonna change our button. So we go back to the beginning and we select button. We use the primary button and we are gonna add our text font color. We're gonna change it to, yeah, we're gonna pick white. We're also gonna change the border to white as well. Yeah, it's much better. And we're also gonna change our behavior for our button. So we want our button to align to the right and we want it shown as a block. Yeah, like so. So we click save. And as you can see now, this is how design and content are separated from each other. So every time the webmaster goes and change something here from the content of this parallax banner, he will not be able to change the color, change how this button looks, etc. So a lot of other website building systems are using old technology in one interface, and we are deliberately separating everything and giving people custom access to what they exactly can do, so you can protect the work that you did. So a designer can keep the brand intact, and a developer can make sure that nobody can access his code unless he wants to, and all these kind of things. So when we return to our CMS application, you will see that the changes, the margin button and the styling of our parallax banner have been applied to the website. Now that we have added some content to our page, we're also going to add some content to our layout, and using adding some content to our footer to be more specific. So we click these transparent black boxes with edit. So we're going to edit the first column of our footer. We're gonna, and it works exactly the same as the CMS of the content part. So it's the interface is exactly the same. So we can install a title, for example, and add in site manager and pick header 3, click save, and we can add some links below it. So I'm gonna install 4 links. So we just select homepage, missions, and build from scratch, or behind the scenes video, where the video that we're making right now will be available to watch in this page, and the request demo page that goes to training. Click save, return to our CMS, and now you can see that this content has been added to our layout. And I'm going to do the same thing, add some content in for column 2 and column 3 of the form, and I'm going to fast forward it a little bit so you don't have to sit there and watch me do it. As you can see, all of the content for the footer has been added to our website. So now we're going to add some content to our missions page. So we're going to add some content to our mission page, which is similar to the page that we built for the home page. So I'm going to fast forward this as well. So now our page missions is complete. So you can download the files and create this page for your own, or just skip it if you're following along. The next page we're gonna build is behind the scenes. We're gonna start by adding a title, just like in the previous videos that we made. Behind the scenes. Add another title, the subtitle. This is the page where we're gonna add the video that we are currently creating, so that's gonna be fun. So, all right. So this is to show when somebody starts with building a website in Site Manager, it's very important that they know that they can start from existing projects, but you can build anything from scratch, just as we're doing right now, and you can do it very, very fast as well. So we're building a complete website here in one sitting, and I'm taking my time to explain and going slower than usual, so you can even do it faster. Obviously we have prepared the content, so content is still a big part of the work, is creating the content for a website, so you cannot really automate that part of it. So I'm gonna add our YouTube video right here. This is a YouTube video with a time-lapse video that we have created for which will show what we're doing right now, but in a really fast video. So when you would click this, that would work. And we're also going to add our YouTube pop-up video. All right. So we are cropping the image to the correct dimensions. We're going to add to our header one director's cut. So it's the first time I can type that, so it's pretty funny. Watch the full making of with commentary. So this is the link that we're going to add to our website right now. And as you can see in this page component, there's a button, but we're not going to use this button in this example. So we're going to go to the developer later on and delete this button from the form and delete it from our code. So this is the only time that we're going to go into the developer, but it shows you how powerful it is. So we're still going to add our YouTube link here. This is a YouTube link that was going to change to the video that we're currently recording. So this link will change in the actual site. But as you can see, we have our two elements, and once again the design does not look like we want it, obviously, and our button here has to delete. So this is the first time that we're gonna go start with deleting this button from the form and from the YouTube pop-up component. And to do that, we're going to go to the developer. If you're not a coder and you're following along, don't worry. This is the only thing that we're going to do right now. But this is the developer homepage. And at the bottom, three sections are the most important sections. So this is more a setup. So if you don't want to work with the design application, you want to code layouts yourself, you can do it here. And then you need these three to change to help you do that. So, but since we are working with the design editor, we're going to use the page components that we have installed and the design application elements that we have created. So this time we're going to go to the page components, and here you will see all the things that we have installed from the Upgrade Store. So we're going to go to our YouTube pop-up video, and we're going to click the edit code button. All right, so here you can see all the HTML code for this element. You will see some special characters like SViv or option value 3. This doesn't make sense right now, but basically that's just the value from the variables that are being inputted into the form. So in our developer onboarding video series, you will know exactly what this is, but we're looking for the button right here, and we're going to delete it, all the code. Right, so, and we are gonna go to the YouTube pop-up form, and we are going to delete the button from the form. So now that we have deleted it from the form, we can return to the YouTube pop-up code, and we're gonna add a closing div behind the subtitle, because there was a closing div for this column MDH right at the end of our button, and since the button is deleted, we still need to add it because otherwise our HTML code will be broken. So when we return to the CMS application, you will see right now that the button has been gone from the YouTube pop-up video. And when we click the edit button, you will see it's no longer available in the form. So this is how easy you can change backend. So it automatically creates the forms, it updates them, and you have access to it. And you don't have to use PHP, MySQL, or any database to create simple elements for your websites. So let's go to the design application and style our YouTube video and our YouTube pop-up element. So once again, we go to our content layout, and this time we select our behind the scenes page. As you can see, there's a render of the page, and we're gonna use the style component for styling our YouTube video. And we're gonna click the banner and change our dimensions, the padding top and bottom to 60, and for mobile let's make it a little less, let's take 2020. Click save, and now we're going to add a cool background color. So let's pick color 3. Okay, it's much better. So we click save. So every time now somebody will install, so anybody from the website, from the webmaster, the content creator, will install or add this component to a page, it will look like this. It will look with this dark background color and this padding, because we have picked style component. If we would have created an instance, it would only be for this component in this page only. So the next element we need to style is our YouTube pop-up video. So we're going to start with our title, and we are going to change the color, obviously to white, much better. And we are going to change our subtitle color to white as well. Okay, click save. So now we're still going to change our play button here. So let's return. You can also always go back by clicking this button here, obviously. And we're going to change our background color to a transparency of 70, and we're gonna pick color 1. Yeah. So we are gonna go to our play button right now. All right, let's change this one to white. Or well, let's pick this one, better. And we're gonna go and change the hover and change the background color. Let's take transparent background color. Let's take black and 100%. Okay. And we want to add a transition effect to it, so we're going to click transition, and let's add an animation that gives us a ½ second delay. Yeah, this looks much better. So we click save, and when we return to our CMS application, you'll see that all the changes that we made using the developer and designer have been added to this page, and this page looks great now. So there's one more page we have to do, which is the training page. So we click the training page here, or we can also select it here. If, for example, if we have a website with an invisible page, it would not show in our menu, but we would still be able to go to edit it using this selection. We're gonna start by adding the title of the page, which is Site Manager Demo, and we're gonna add a title below, subtitle, header 3, get your personal one-on-one training. So just so you know, if you want to have a personal training with one of our specialists, you simply have to fill in this form that we're creating right now. So or you can send us an email to hello@sitemanager.io and we will hook you up. So we're gonna add some white space here, just as we did with the other pages. All right, and we're gonna add now our form, info and contact. All right, so we're gonna add some text here. So I'm pasting that copy here. All right, and here we can have our email. So hello@sitemanager.io, name, your name. So these are the fields that we're going to use for the form. Available for a demo. Thank you for your requests. We're going to use the alternate button this time and click send. We're going to save it, take a look at how it looks. All right, this looks nice. So let's add a little bit of white space, and the final element we're going to add is a cool visual element, a visual component, where we're going to link to our support page, where you find all information about the design developer dashboard application. And we're still building a lot of content right now, so it's ever growing. So we're going to add a title. All right. And got a question. And I'm gonna add some text here. And so here we have our training page, and we would like to have a button here below our got a question. And as you can see, when we edit our form here, there's no button option. So we're going to create one in developer and add it to our component. So in the first example where we deleted a button from our component, now we're going to add one. So we start by going to our triangle image, and we're going to add a button to the form. So we're going to call it button and say it's a list item so that people can install it if they wish to use it, and if they don't wish to use it, they don't have to do it. So we click add item button. When we click it, now we're going to pick the input fields that we want be able to do. So we're going to need a text field for the button name, and we're going to need a link to where the button should be linking to. And you could add an option fields for alternate or default button, but in this example we're going to standard just use the default button class in our code. So this is what we created for our form, and now we're going to add this code to our triangle image. So when we go edit code, we're going to click auto create variables and be sure to select add code below, because if we click override code, all the existing code will be overwritten and it will be gone forever. So we're going to add code below. Okay, so for this we have to delete it into the spots where we already created the variables, so it can go away. Okay, so here is our button, and this is the code that was being generated by the system by the form that we created. So we're gonna add a div, and we are going to use this link that's being generated and paste it here, and we're going to add a class from our design editor. So here you can see the design CSS classes. So we want to have the S button, so we click copy and we simply paste it here and remove the dot obviously, and we're gonna add this here and remove the code that we used. And we still forgot something, so I'm gonna save it and return to the form that we built. Where is it? Triangle image, yes, button. We forgot to set up our text field, so this is what you should do before you go to the code, obviously. So this is a step that I forgot to do. So here we say button label defaults. You can add a default value like button. You can make it a required field. You can a single line, exclude characters, etc. So we're gonna set this up right here, and our link is already set up correctly. So we want to be able to add internal page links, external links, and if you have the file manager installed, you can even make it download files. So that's it. Let's return to our CMS application. Click edit, and now we're going to add a button. See, this was not available previously, so now that we created that, we can add our button, and we are gonna make it go to our ticketing page, and obviously we're going to change the button label to new ticket. This can go to a new window. Click save, and now you see that this is not exactly the correct styling that we want, so maybe it's better to change our code to the alternate button. So let's see if that's better. So let's go to our page component, go to the code, and use our alternate class to replace this one, and let's return to our CMS application. Yeah, that's much better. This is the one that we want. So now we're gonna go to the design application to change the color of the background color of the triangle image, because this is the same color as our footer and it's not looking good. So we're gonna pick another color. So we're gonna change our banner background color to, yeah, the color that we created in the beginning of this demo. So now this is much better. So we click save. All right. So when we return to our page, you will see that the changes are in full effect and it looks much better now. So even with our alternate button, it looks better. And now what we're going to do is when we return to our home page, we're going to create a separate special home page layout for our home page. So we're going to click design. To make our home page layout, we're going to start by copying our content layout that we already built. So we're going to create a new layout using the copy function, call it home page. So the layout is copied, and now we can enter the design editor. And what we're going to do is we're going to delete our background banner and we're going to add a hero slider. So let's go to sliders, full width sliders, yeah. And you have multiple sliders you can pick from. So we're going to add this one to our page. All right, this is our slider. You can style and change properties, but we're going to do that later. When we're done with building a layout, we need to publish it. So now our layout is available in the CMS application. So when we return here, we're gonna click our CMS application. And here you have a button layout, and we're gonna click it and change our home to home page. All right, now we're gonna click this edit slider button here at the top, and we are gonna add image, text, and button. We're gonna upload a file. We're gonna select our launch picture here. All right, dimensions are already okay. We're gonna add some text. And 9 easy missions. We're few missions. So I'm gonna save it. Close it here. Okay, this is how it looks, and it looks okay, but we still want to style and make it look even better in our design application. So when we go to design application and we select our home page, you'll see what I forgot to mention in the previous when we previously went here is when you see all these linked elements, these are elements that are linked from the content layout that we created. So when, for example, if we're going to change the footer in this layout, we can update all layouts clicking this button here, and then all linked elements will be published at the same time. So that creates an easy consistency for creating layouts. Now let's select our homepage, because our homepage is now linked to the homepage layout. We can select it here and see a visual render of how it looks. So we're gonna make some adjustments here to make the hero slider look a little bit better. So we click the style button and we go to settings, and here we have an overlay button, and we're gonna change our background color to black. Click Save. And we're gonna set the visibility to 0.2%. So the background picture is now a little darker, and we're gonna make our text pop out a little more than it is already. So the next thing we're gonna do is we're gonna change our texts and our subtitle and our button. So we can click here and go back to the slide, go to slider elements, click title, click text properties. We're gonna make it so it's always uppercase, and we're gonna change our mobile screen to 26. So when we go to mobile view, 26, yeah, it looks better. So we click Save. And now we return here, and let's change the color to white. Yeah. Now let's return to our subtitle. Do the same thing, change to uppercase, make it a little bigger. Mobile also a little bit bigger, and change the color to, let's take light gray color. Okay, and click Save. Okay, now let's change our button. Okay, let's change, let's take our button texts. Let's change it to white. And let's change the background color to blue. Yeah. And let's change the hover, because right now, so let's change the background to black. Okay, and change the border to white. All right, it's much better. Click Save. Now, since that we are designing a layout element, we still have to publish our layout before the changes take effect on our site. So you, when you're editing content, you don't have to do this, but when you're designing your layout, you always have to click Update Layout when you're finished with making changes to your design. So this looks much better than our previous hero sliders. So we click Update Layout, and when we return to our page, this looks really nice. So our website is finished now. So we built a website with 4 pages. We designed it from scratch, and now this website is ready to be used for our tutorial missions that we created. So when you're done with building a website, or when you want to look how it looks, you can click the Publish Website button. You can select the pages or all pages that you want to publish. All right. So, and if you want to take a look at your website, you click this link here, and it takes you to a preview version of your website. So here you can see the website that we built live. So it really works very nice. So our missions page, our behind the scenes page, and right here we'll have the link to the video that you're watching right now. So this is the full making of video with my commentary. And if you are interested in the Site Manager, I highly recommend you do the missions first before trying to make a website from scratch, as we're doing right now. If you want to have more information, you can always ask for your personal demo. So we're really glad to hear from you, and do not hesitate to do that, even if you're on the fence whether or not SiteManager is something for you or not. We're really glad to help, and as you can see, it's really fast. It's one of the fastest ways right now how you can build websites that can do anything, because it is not limited due to the developer application that's added to this platform. It's not limited to what we think it should do. It can do anything. So for custom development, if somebody wants something that's not in the libraries, that's not available, a developer can build it for you. If you're working with your own developers, we have tutorials and documentation for them to jump right in. It's really easy. You only need front-end knowledge. So if you know HTML5, CSS3, JavaScript, you'll be able to use a developer, no problem. If you're a designer and you don't know how to develop, that's not a problem either. With the design and CMS application, you can build like 99% of your website. And for that 1 to 10% custom development that you need, you can always contact us, and we will get you in touch with a great developer and help you out. So we're really community driven that way. We want to help each other build the best websites that we possibly can, and still have a little bit margin left to make some money as well. So thank you for watching. If you have any questions, as always, contact us. And thank you for joining me, and see you next time. Bye.